Greetings, guys, coming from Allison's Kitchen. Well, guys, you know it's that time of the year where we celebrate Easter, some of us, and Good Friday is almost here, so I'm going to share my hot cross buns recipe with you all. So to my mixing bowl, I went in with 2 cups of full cream milk, then I went in with 1 cup of unsalted melted butter, and then I cracked 1 egg in a bowl there. That's to make sure that none of the egg is spoiled, and I end up spoiling my whole mixture. So I crack it separate in a bowl, and then I grated some lemon zest and I added that to my mixture. Now the lemon zest is to take out the freshness from the eggs, right? You don't want to be eating hot cross buns and it tasting fresh. So I went in with 1 tablespoon, yes, of vanilla essence, 1 tablespoon of mixed essence. I added that to my mixture, and then I went in with 1.5 cup of white sugar. I combine all of that together and I dissolve my sugar in my mixture, and then I went ahead and I measured out 5 cups of flour in my mixing bowl, and then I went in with 1.5 tablespoon of yeast, instant yeast. I didn't poof anything. And then I went in with 1 teaspoon of spice or cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I also went in, this is optional, right, with just a little, let me say about 1/4 teaspoon of yellow coloring. You could use less if you want, either among 2 if you don't want to. And then I went in with my raisins, which is 1 cup of raisins and 1/2 cup of mixed peel. I don't like too much of mixed peel, right? So you could use more again if you choose. You could use less. You don't want to use any if you don't like fruits, right? So I mixed this, and then I started to go in with my wet ingredients there. I added some at a time. Now it started becoming possible for me to mix it with the whisk, so I put that aside and I started to use my hands. My hands are clean. I'm cooking for my family, so I don't need to wear any gloves, right? So I went ahead and I mixed my flour there, combining all of the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, and then I give that a knead. Now if you notice, my flour is sticky, not dry or too stiff. Alright, so this will give you a soft hot cross buns and not a tough one, right? So I let that sit for about an hour, and then I went ahead and I knead this over for about, let me say, 2 to 3 minutes, not too much, not over kneading the flour. And then I went ahead and I started to boil out my flour into little balls. You can make it whichever size you want. If you want them extra small, if you want them medium size, however you choose, you can do it to your liking. So I greased my tray and I put my hot cross buns on my tray and I let it sit for an hour, and then I preheated my oven to 250 degrees, and then I put in the hot cross buns and that baked for about 45 minutes. So I went ahead and I mixed 1 cup of sugar to about less than 1/2 cup of less than 1/4 cup of water, and I made a syrup. Now guys, if you notice, I'm not using my brush. I lent out my utensils and I didn't get it back, so I have to end up using my spatula. So when I can't get my mommy here, use granny, so I using granny here, right? So I brushed all of my hot cross buns with my syrup there, and then I let that sit for a bit, and then I went ahead when my buns were completely cooled down. I went ahead and I mixed 1 cup of icing sugar to just a little, it could be about a tablespoon of milk. You don't have to use much, right? So I went ahead and I used, now again, I lent out my stuff, so I don't have my piping bag, so I substitute. So you could use a bag, you could use a Ziploc bag, you could cut the tip off very small, and you could use that if you don't have a piping bag, right? So I went ahead and made crosses on all of my hot cross buns. And guys, this is the finished product of my hot cross buns. Hope you enjoy this recipe. Hope you like it. Hope you try it. Thanks for viewing. Have a blessed day. God bless. Much love.